Alright, so hello my boys, my name is Thump Riot, welcome. This is the first episode of a new series that I'm starting, so if you're new on Brawl Stars, then this is definitely the video that you are looking for. Also, if you're an advanced player, then feel free to watch this, because this video will include all the necessary information and tools that you are looking for. Now sit back, relax and enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe, leave a like and share this video with your friends. So we're gonna start in with the first brawler that I'm just gonna explain today from A to Z, right? So we do from A to Z. And we are starting with 8-bit. There we have him. Yes, guys. Well, as you can see, 8-bit is an arcade game famous for its brutal difficulty. And 8-bit is maybe eventually one of the most... if you know how to play him, he is pretty broken. Because he is pretty much situational. Now, before we go in, we're gonna check his power. Now, as you can see, he shoots a burst of blaster beams that damage any opponent they hit. The beams have a slight spread. And then we have his damage booster, but there are no extra traits for this brawler. Deploys a turret that increases the damage output of all friendly brawlers in this area of effect. Now we gotta understand that 8-bit is a high damage brawler that delivers his own speed, so his movement speed, for his health. In this case, his survivability. They give him more range, he has normal reload speed, but he's the slowest brawler of all of them, right? So I am just gonna show you guys. Here you got the gadget, right? His gadget, you get two different type of gadgets. You get 8-bit's next attack has the number of projectiles increased to 18 instead of, if I'm correct, it's 6 or eventually 10. So you shoot more, right? Then you get 8-bit instantly teleports to his damage booster. This one is most of the time useful. Let's say you need to escape, then the cheat cartridge is extremely viable, because brawlers with high movement speed, think about Mortis, think about Max, think about Edgar, for the biggest example, Kenji, Case. These are extremely mobility brawlers that will outplay you with every move. And I will show you why. And then we get increases the damage booster's range by 50% and boosts the damage by an additional 15. And then we get the plugged in. When 8-bit is near his damage booster, he will plug in and have increased movement speed. And then we get the last but not least, we get 8-bit's turret now has a laser that shoots nearby enemies shots to 230 damage. But that is his hypercharge. Now if you're a beginner, the gadget, especially the cheat cartridge nor the extra credits, are based on your playstyle and your game mode, right? If you want to do high damage, then go for extra credits. If you are pretty unsure about the situation, or eventually if you want to defend a lot, then cheat cartridge is the way to go. With the plugged in or the boosted booster, this can vary as well. Boosted booster is if you play offensive, you can boost your own damage and you boost the damage of your teammates, because if they stand into your booster, they deal an additional 15% damage above their normal auto attacks. Plugged in is when you play defensively or defensive in this case, and you need to return, then you use your cheat cartridge, right? So that's okay. But imagine that you need to walk from left to right, or you just need to defend, or you need to be faster, so you need a bit more movement speed. Then you can play inside that area of your damage booster and have an increased movement speed. I don't really recommend to take this because with the movement speed you have a bit of survivability, but it isn't really useful since you are most of the time shooting. So it doesn't really matter, right? We have got the hypercharge. The hypercharge, if you're lucky and you get this one, then yes, there you have some sort of companion that will just deal X amount of damage, in this case 230 damage, shooting automatically if they don't destroy it. But it isn't really the best one. Here you have 15% more reload, and on the right side you have reduces gadget cooldown. It can vary based on the opportunity that you have. I'm most of the time using a 15% faster reload. It is useful, especially when you're gonna do high damage, and especially when you're gonna use extra credits. Then yes, this is pretty much useful. I'm just gonna show you on the training ground why 8-bit can be pretty strong.
Player 1, get
Now,
ready.
we have this is 8-bit in action, right? And what I'm most of the time doing, right, when I'm gonna try and test brawlers, especially new ones, or the ones that I'm pretty much curious about, like how can I play this brawler, then get to the training ground, right? And then you have all the tools that you actually just need. You don't really need the gadgets, but if you do, then unlock the star power before you get into the gadget. Now you get this, right? So this is the maximum range where you can drop his ultimate, right? But here, look at the range, right? So what we're gonna do, let's go left, and then let's see how long this is, right? Look at how long this is. This is one of the longest distance in Brawl Stars with shooting in this case, right? If I'm correct, Piper is also has also this range. And if I'm correct, if Mandy is standing still, she shoots further. I'm not being pretty sure how far, but that's for something else. So what we do, and what you need to do actually, eventually without me, you just need to understand that, look, when you have this, you just, right? So he just, he one-shotted 4K, right? But what you need to understand in this situation is not that he one-shots. Of course, one-shotting is okay, but you need to understand he does 680 damage with just only one bullet, right? So that is his own damage. And how many shots does he fire? Well, if I'm correct, he shots... Am I correct for 1, 2? Yeah, I think he shots 8 bullets, right? So it's 8-bit, 8 bullets. Now, what will happen if I would see the difference, by the way? Let's just use here, because we have been shooting that guy. Press on the gadget. Now the range is still the same, right? But look at this. Can you see how much he shoots? How much he shoots actually? I am just gonna do it again, so you see the difference. You just stand here. See the difference? Eventually, after the guy is dead, or in this case the robot, he still manages to shoot further, right? So we have we have 680 damage, right? So that's what his normal damage is. Then we get into, we have his damage booster, right? Now he does almost 2 times more damage than normal. So this means that every shot is 1k damage. That's an improvement of almost 2 times, so almost a 200%. Now if we combine this with the gadget, we get a ridiculous amount of damage, right? But what we also can do, and this is where the fun begins, you push the hypercharge and you replace it. And then your turret starts shooting as well. So we can let it 230 automatically. It doesn't stop until an enemy is dead or eventually if it is outside its range. What you can do in the meantime to increase the damage, you can also start shooting as well, so you combine it eventually. An 8-bit is pretty useful in these situations. But as you can see, he walks very slowly, like extremely slow. So I would suggest to use 8-bit.
Not over.
I know the game's not over. I would suggest to use 8-bit in game modes where you can defend. Think about Heist. Think about Hot Zone, where you can boost the damage of your teammates, boost your own damage, and still play safe. Heist is the same if you can defend, or eventually just put high damage out. And of course, there are definitely other game modes. Think about Robo Brawl, if you know how to play, of course, but if you need to escape, then no, but it differs from Robo to Robo. Brawl Ball is not really viable for 8-bit, or you need 2 other teammates that know how to play, of course. Then yes, you can defend in the backstage. Do not play 8-bit offensively in Brawl Ball because you're not fast enough. And if players just leave you around and you just need to get back, then you're not fast enough, or you need to use the cheat cartridge. But if you don't have a turret, then you can teleport back, so you're still stuck up on the other side of the map while people are playing at front of your goal. So this was it for 8-bit. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please leave a like, share, subscribe. And until my next video, guys, thank you for watching and goodbye.